Hi YouTubers, this is Andrew Tompkins, aka Maestro-mania Tompkins, back again with sort of another impromptu video. I wanted to go ahead and show for you guys. So I actually have another keyboard I've had for a little while now, but I'm actually really liking it. It's the Korg XE20. Now I'm sure that there have been other reviews and other people who've uploaded videos on this, but I have to say this is definitely a keeper for me. I've actually had it since about mid-September, but I guess never got around to doing a review on it and then just showcasing a lot of the sounds and rhythms on here. So the Korg XE20 is one of these rare keyboards that I think combines both the piano setup and the arranger features in a very slim package. And I want to stress this because you've got many other keyboards such as Yamaha and Roland that just, while they might have some of the arranger features, they are in a very heavy package. You're talking maybe 45 to 50 pounds, and this Korg XE20 only weighs 25 pounds. So it's extremely gig ready. It's great for traveling with. And of course, what others have said too, that really sets this particular instrument apart are the built-in speakers. Now I'm using our line level outputs right now, but the internal speakers are absolutely incredible on here as well, on the XE20. So I do hope that my visuals are a little bit better here. I have an additional light that's actually above me, so hopefully everybody who's watching this video can see me as well as the keyboard, even if all keys are not featured here. But I just wanted to demonstrate and just play a little bit here on this Korg XE20, because the pianos, especially when you add in effects, it's beautiful. Right now it's set on the German concert grand piano, and what I will do is turn off my internal microphone so we only hear the piano with the effects that I've applied. It's very, very pretty, and I just wanted to sort of improvise a little bit to show everybody and give everyone a listen as to how great this piano really is. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. So I'm going to switch off my mic, and I'm just going to play a little bit on the German concert grand, and then I'll talk about some of the other pianos and general highlights of this keyboard. That was really, really great. I actually think maybe there's a little too much reverb here in the German concert grand I had set. So I will actually, with one button press, it'll actually revert to its default reverb. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. So that was the German piano. Now, one thing I want to point out to all of the viewers here is another unique thing with Korg is they have sampled 3 completely separate pianos. You'll get keyboards that, yeah, have different piano tones and like that, but it's based off the same patch. They might just modify the brightness, the filter, the, reverb, whatever effects maybe, but not with this. The first piano that we just heard was the German Concert Grand, and if I go to the right, one instrument we'll get a completely different sample. This is the Italian grand piano. Now I'd say much better for more upbeat jazz or even pop songs. So I'll play a little bit on that as well on the Italian grand piano. And I think you'll find, especially if you're listening over good speakers or headphones especially, the Italian grand is brighter, it's fuller, it's just better for, I would say, upbeat jazz music, and just general has a more dynamic range over the first piano. I would say that the German concert grand is good for background, just very quiet background. Maybe I could put it on at a restaurant or something if I were to take this with me, and or even, let's say, a cruise line or something. The Italian grand would be better for, cutting through other instruments. If I really did want to feature myself and be the center of attention, this would be the piano to use. So I'll play a little bit on that just to showcase it. Okay, so there we go with the Italian grand piano. Very bright, very rich sounding, for sure. Now, the last piano we're going to feature in this particular category is actually derived from Korg's EK series. And one thing I needed to mention, I don't think I did, is that even though others might have pointed this out, the Korg XC20 actually features 2 sound engines. That's what's great about this. The first couple of pianos, the German and Italian concert grand, were actually found in the Korg Nautilus, which is obviously a lot more expensive than this XC20 was. But the third piano here is derived from the EK50, and I personally think this is much more suitable for the modern music. Like, even stuff that was out in the 90s and definitely today's music. It has just an updated tone, like a pop song you might hear in, let's say, Journey. Now I know they're in back from the 80s and like that, but it would be great for that. Even 70s and 60s rock music, but it's just better for, like I said, pop. You'll hear just the difference in its tone, and maybe I'll play a song from Journey, just an excerpt of it, just to showcase that this pop piano is great for rock music. So there we go. There's the piano from the Korg EK50 in particular. Now, I believe that there are other models that have this exact patch. The Korg i3, I believe, has it. And as I also mentioned, the Korg EK50. But I love this model because it provides me with all 88 keys, and if you think about it, a lot of those piano pieces, especially by Journey and even other groups, you want the full range in order to access a lot of the keys that you wouldn't otherwise be able to without using the octave buttons or transpose buttons. I like the fact I've already got all 88 keys available. And that's really the reason I chose this particular model. And also, as I also said, 3 completely separate piano samples. So here's another thing I'm going to showcase to really stress this point. I'm going to play a single note. And in my opinion, I think that it's more noticeable on the lower registers. So I'm going to play, this A right here. It would be the second octave up from the left, featuring all 3 samples. And you'll hear, I'm certain of it, the difference in the actual samples, even though they're the same exact pitch. So here we go. I'll play one after the other, the German Concert Grand, the Italian Concert Grand, and then our Pop Grand. So, again, same note, same exact pitch, but 3 separate piano patches. And I love that. It gives this Korg XE20 much more variety, so I'm not stuck with any one piano patch, and also it'll fit whatever genre of music that I'm performing. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that very few keyboards, particularly the 88-note ones, have this amount of flexibility right out of the box. So there's your pianos. Now, let's go to the styles. The styles in here, obviously depending on the one I choose, I'm a big jazz fanatic. Those who have been on my channel there for a while know that I majored in jazz studies from Shenandoah University, but anybody who's, let's say, newer to the channel, jazz has always been a favorite of mine since childhood, and I have really enjoyed just all types of jazz, from smooth jazz to swing, you know, to even, what do they call it? Fusion, you know, where they combine jazz with other stuff. There's one rhythm here, and I'm hoping I can find it relatively quickly, but it uses the separate sound engine that it's other than piano. So you've got brass and woodwind and strings and drums and all that stuff. Every other sound apart from those pianos was derived from the Korg EK50. And the style that I'm going to find here is sort of a funk fusion, if you will. And I'll just improvise over it. And actually, what I'm going to also do is locate an instrument. I can, maybe a guitar. Here we go. And I'm going to locate one of my favorite styles out of this thing. It's incredible. Once I bring it up, it's awesome. So just bear with me for a little bit. It's definitely around here somewhere. What I can actually do is, while I'm looking for it, I can turn the volume down so we're not hearing all the other. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting close. I'm getting very close. There it is. I found it. So I did have the keyboard turned way down, but I've got the style. Here we go. So this, I do not know the name of it. I'm sure it's on my keyboard screen here, but this is by far my most favorite style, and to improvise over. So I'm gonna play the intro, and again, this in itself is so cool. And then I'll just go right into playing. So here we go. Yeah, so like I was saying, that is by far my favorite style. Like, out of the entire selection of styles offered on this keyboard, that's my favorite for sure. Now, it doesn't mean that all the other styles are terrible. It's just that one has the most expression. I think the most uh, the coolest selection of instruments. Like, you heard sort of that trumpet fall right there in the beginning, like that. It's awesome. So, and it sounds very real. And in my opinion, this is one of the styles that really sounds human rather than MIDI generated. Believe me, there's a difference to my ears. So, a few other things that I wanted to point out about this keyboard is just the fact that, you know, in regard to some of the sound patches, I mean, there's no perfect keyboard out there. I'm just going to say that right up front. No keyboard is perfect. I know there's going to be people that, you know, are going to say, oh, well, you know, why don't you have the Korg professional arrangers like the PA5X or the Kronos or the, you know, Nautilus? Well, my answer is, first, I don't have the money to be able to afford that. And second, a lot of it's touchscreen. And this is something that, obviously, I think will be dedicated to a separate video about accessibility. But frankly, I'm happy with this one because sound selections are very easy. Like, I'm at a guitar right now. I think maybe one of those kind of jazz electric guitars. But if I go ahead and press these category buttons, whew, I'm on a hip-hop category. Oh, okay, we're back to piano, electric piano, vibes, harmonica, organ. So very, very easy to select different patches or different categories. Now within the category, that's where I have to sort of be more careful and make sure, okay, I have, right now we're kind of on a violin patch. I am actually looking for a saxophone patch. There we go. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So here is an example of, okay, the patch alone. This is supposed to be a soprano sax, I believe. The patch by itself is not going to sound too great. Like, I'll just play just only this patch, no accompaniment, no effects. Okay, so you get the idea. Yeah, it sounds a little bland, okay? I mean, I can't hide it from myself that the patch alone is a little bit fake sounding. But the catch here is that once you add a rhythm to it, like here, I'll actually use the same exact rhythm. Oh, and something else I wanted to mention. This does not apply to all styles, but this one I'm actually focused on. This funk groove. One thing that I absolutely love, and another reason it's one of my favorite styles, is when you're playing an intro for the musicians who are out here, who know what I'm talking about. The first intro we all heard was a minor key, okay, in the key of C minor. But listen, when I have the intro in a major key, it's going to play completely differently. And this is definitely something I want to showcase. So let's do this. I'm going to play that C minor intro again, then stop the rhythm, but then I'm going to go in and play the major key and the intro, same key, just major instead of minor, but it's a completely different instrumentation. So enough talking. I'm just going to compare side by side, and let's hear the differences for yourself. So there was the intro side by side. We noticed that the major key was shorter. The intro was shorter. But it used different chord progressions, different instrumentation from the C minor intro. That's really what sets this keyboard apart, even from other brands like Yamaha and Roland that might have arranger features. This is extremely unique. And it's in my favor, because it doesn't make the intros sound boring at all. Now, let's go back to the minor. In fact, I'll switch keys. I'm going to maybe go to B minor, and then while I'm on this saxophone patch, start playing with it. And let's see what everybody makes of that. Yeah, I thought I was pretty groovy there. So, again, when we take into account those patches, the saxophone, of course, by itself, without effects and a rhythm of some type, it's going to sound a little bit bland and artificial and like that. But as soon as I add a rhythm to it, well, and even another thing I want to point out here that I'm sure was mentioned maybe on other videos is the fact you can layer 3 upper voices. This is unheard of at this price point, what the Korg XC20 was selling for. Right now, I just have the soprano sax, but I can add another 2 voices. And I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is actually, let's see what we got. Upper 2, electric piano. So actually, I'm going to put on a... Let's do this. Let's put a tenor sax below. Let me find it here. Here we go. There's the tenor sax. And I'm actually going to lower the octave of that one, which I think we can do by holding the octave or the transpose button with the octave. There we go. So now soprano and tenor. Now listen to the difference. So here I'm going to take off the tenor and just play the soprano first. Just the soprano. Okay, kind of, like I said, bland, not much expression, but let's add the tenor to it. And I'll play kind of a jazz groove, you know. Turn off the microphone, actually. I like that already. It's better already with another instrument. Now, one last demonstration here with concerning the sax category. I'm going to add now a third voice, a baritone sax. So I'm going to activate upper 3. Now right now it sounds like it's on a strings patch. So let's switch it up. I'm going to find another... Let's see. There we go. And, by the way, I can lower the octave of the baritone sax even one lower, I believe. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I can't, actually. It won't let me. There it goes. Now I got it. Now I got it. Okay. Now, listen to all 3. Okay, I did realize, notice the volumes are actually a little bit off, so let me adjust the volume to just the baritone. I want to bring that up so we can hear it. So I'm holding down upper 3 while turning the dial. There we go. Much better now. In fact, I'll turn the other 2 down just a little bit. There we go. It's a sax trio now. Soprano, tenor, and baritone. All mixed in. That was me just playing all that, just using these 3 saxophone patches. It takes away the fake soundingness, if that's a word. In my personal view, it no longer sounds fake anymore. When I combine 3 saxophone patches all played at the same time, it totally changes the sound quality. Now again, let's compare it. I'll take off the other 2 voices and go back to just soprano. So yeah, like I was saying, kind of artificial. But let's add now the tenor back in. Sounds pretty good now, but now let's add in the baritone and we'll have an even richer sound. See? I mean, it totally changes the context. So that's it for those, as far as the patches there. But this really, that's just a few of the reasons I chose the Korg XC20 keyboard. Sorry, I needed to mute to clear my throat. But yeah, that's really just an overview of the XC20. And certainly a lot of my favorite styles as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and feel free to comment on it. And one thing I want to conclude with, guys, is I don't want to point names or anything like that, but I had a recent subscriber who I guess watched the video. I'm assuming it's the last one I actually uploaded, about the blindness stigma, because unfortunately it still exists. And I'm not, again, not trying to point anyone out, but for those who are new, brand new to my channel, I just want to say that even other disabilities, whether it's intellectual or physical, there is a very unfortunate stereotype out there. Like, for example, blind people can't dress themselves, or they can't do whatever, go independently places. They can't work. And this is a big, big, big touching point for me, is employment. Particularly in the music industry. And what I wanted to say was, the recent subscriber had said, I just can't understand why nobody would hire you. Whether to play on cruise lines, or piano bars, or lounge, things like that. Well, unfortunately, it's the sad reality these days that I'm not there. Now, I will point out that I do play in a nursing home on Thursdays, and like that, and I have used this exact keyboard, the Korg XC20, but it's nothing that I would call steady. I mean, my schedule is set, actually. I do play in the mornings every Thursday, but it's the same place every time, and I would not mind branching out a little bit more. And that is where the cruise ships would come in so handy. And I just want to lay out there, any viewers at all, if anyone out there has ideas or knows of current job opportunities for musicians on cruise lines, please send this video along to them, because while it's an overview of a specific keyboard, it showcases my playing ability, even along with rhythms. And I really want people to realize and understand that just because we can't see doesn't mean we can't function in life. It doesn't mean that we can't work. And it also doesn't mean that we need to be shut up someplace. So this is just me being brutally honest with the stereotypes, and that it's still out there, and there are people who are very just stubborn and don't want to look past the disability. And this is what I'm really trying to get rid of. Not only for myself, but others. I have got friends who are probably in worse situations. In fact, I know of one particular one in my area that is worse off than me. It's time to look past the disability. It's time to look past the visual impairment and see what the strengths are. Really just allow us to prove ourselves and allow us to just get out there and start working. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to conclude with in this particular video. The blindness stigma video that I uploaded last time was using a different keyboard, but it's the same concept though. And I'm really trying to stress that people need to stop. Stop looking at just the blindness. Because I have got plenty more to offer. And I really want potential employers to, yes, overlook these. Overlook the negatives. We may perform differently on the job. There may be things that we can't do. But it is also law to accommodate as well. We have assistive technology such as VoiceOver for the iOS and even the Mac computers. We have JAWS for Windows, which, I mean, self-explanatory, is for Windows-based computers. And it would also be nice as well if more websites were Section 508 compliant. Anyone who's familiar with the ADA Act knows that certain websites are very inaccessible. So just my general point in saying this is let's overlook the disability factor. And I wish people would really be willing to just take me on, especially in the music side of things, because this is my strength. You know, I've applied to customer service positions in the past, and they've been great. Do not get me wrong. But the music side is just where I would have the most enjoyment, the most pleasure, the most fulfillment, the most rewarding experiences, even if it's just playing for background. To be honest, while I would love to be a concert musician, I don't know if I'd want to do that on a regular basis. I want to travel. Now, there's certainly traveling concert musicians, who play at different areas around the country, and even parts of DC, and like that. But I really would appreciate if people would be more receptive to my, skill sets, and just allow me to just join a community, join another group of musicians even. If anyone has ideas who are currently viewing this video, just please send comments my way, and I can reach out, or even any viewers can reach out and send my video along and be like, hey, this guy's really good, or whatever, and just advocate. I'm a huge believer in advocating. So, that's really what I wanted to say in this video, as well as showcasing a lot of the sounds in this fantastic keyboard. So, hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. At this recording, it's actually snowing where I am. I'm sure a lot of the country is currently dealing with very cold temperatures, so I just wanted to take this opportunity to make another video and, just showcase this keyboard, even if I didn't touch on every aspect of it. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their days, and I will be back with future videos, just not sure when, but I will be sure to, keep trucking, keep looking for employment. But just, again, if anyone watching, anyone viewing, even if it's a month later or a year later, just ideas, anything would be appreciated at this point. So, until next time, take care.